Finally, our guest is right here with us on the Discussion on Classic FM. I'm Sulaiman Alede, and quite a whole lot of questions are already coming in. And just at the moment we talked about, we gave an indication of his, being on the show. Our guest today is a presidential, candidate for the coming election. He was also the third place winner in the 2019 presidential election on the People's Coalition Party, the PCP, Nicolas Felix. Good to have you join us here on the Discuss.
Good to be with you. It's morning here. I guess it's afternoon over there in Nigeria.
Well, it is actually live. Rather, Nicolas Felix is joining us live from New York, and that explains the little time, lapse in getting to set this up via Zoom. By the way, for those if you missed out on this, just in case you're on the road, you can catch up on the Discuss pretty much later on our YouTube channel and get to listen to Dr. Nicolas Felix of the. Well, I don't know. Are you still running under the PCP? I was going to ask that first.
For now, no. We're not going to be running on that PCP.
So let us in on your experience so far in 2019. You were one of the youngest then, and you had a good showing. And a lot of people have been asking questions, and some of the questions will be, how did you emerge third place winner in an election that was, dubbed one of the fiercest and most, competitive at that point in time in 2019. Let us in on your sojourn into politics. First, let us in on who Nicolas Felix is.
Yeah, once again, thank you for having me. Good to be here. I've been on several interviews, but I don't know why I'm so excited to be here with you.
I'll tell you the truth. I'm also excited. Honestly, I'm excited. The first thing I said to your aide, I said to her, Dr. Felix is coming on the show, and I'm happy because I have a lot of questions to ask about 2019 and also see what 2023 will mean for people like yourself, because Nigerians are still agitating, asking the big questions. Where are the young ones? Good thing you say you're still back in the race. So let us in on who you are for those who are meeting you for the very first time. Who is Dr. Nicolas Felix?
All right, you can see the smile on my face. And once again, thank you for this opportunity. 2019 was quite challenging. There are many things we hear about politics. Until I came into the scene, I never knew that's what it is. Now, what brought me into politics? I'm a pastor here in New York. We have branches in America and in Nigeria. And also, I have several companies. I'm also a businessman. So politics wasn't something I dreamt of getting into. It's not what I planned. It was never in my radar. Like every other youth, we complain a lot. We get angry. But what drove me into politics was one day on a Tuesday, I was on my way to church and I stopped by somebody to pick up my flyers from the church. And while he was on the phone talking to somebody else, not me, he started insulting Nigerians over the phone. This was the period Donald Trump was calling us the SO country. If you remember that, that era, Donald Trump was insulting Africa. I was so hurt. I looked at me, I said, look at me, I'm very successful here in America. Even though you are an American, and I'm just here for a few years, I can tell I've achieved more than you, who was born in America. But why are you looking at us like the lesser one, like the ones that come from a dirty country? Sometimes they ask us questions, do your ladies wear pants? Do you guys dress on the street? They said these things. I was so hurt. I got home, I could not sleep. 2 a.m., I was bored. I said, what kind of life is this? When is it now a cause to be in Nigeria? With all the effort. That was when I said to myself, on that Tuesday morning, January 2018, I said, I'm not going to sit here no more. I'm coming back to Nigeria to run for office. If nobody is willing to go and put their head on the ring to change the situation, I'm not going to sit in my comfort zone anymore. I'm coming to Nigeria to run for president. And that's how I went on Facebook and I sent the first post. And lo and behold, it went viral. Next morning, thousands of messages waiting for me. the thing just became a wildfire. We started doing the underground campaign. Now, contrary to what people think, most of my campaign were beyond social media. Some people use the social media rating to judge who's going to have more votes, like some of the top candidates we see on social media. That's not the way I did mine. I went from churches to churches. I went for market women, going to the market square. Sometimes I'll stop in a market, just come down, buy water for people. Before you know it, 500 people have gathered. I'll talk to them.
So you actually campaigned?
Yes, I did a one-on-one campaign, and some of which we didn't even put it on social media. Some were random. Some, I didn't have all the camera stuff like some do. Now I'm going to be doing that so people will really know we are campaigning. But majority of things we do, we were doing them and not really on social media. And that's how you see the votes counted. If I had showed them on social media, I do everything live, I'm quite sure people would have thought that's the campaign. But like, most of the people that vote, they are not on social media.
I think that's some of the key things we've always said here on the program, that there are no polling units on social media. We started by saying that. I had the person show me who first used that, that phrase. And I'm looking at the results. Honestly, of course, the winner, the incumbent President Muhammadu Buhari, closely followed by the PDP. And you came third, 110,190. And a lot of people were looking towards two other big candidates, Dr. Kingsley Moghalu and Sowore and Fela Durotoye. But somehow, here was Nicolas Felix. So perhaps that has sort of encouraged you to run again. Let us in on, how you were able. Now, you've already told us the one-on-one thing. And for some of the questions, by the way, quickly, let me let our listeners know that they can be a part of this show by letting us have their messages and comments on 0909-217-2973. That's on WhatsApp. If you're listening from outside Nigeria, remember to put in the telephone area code +234 0909-217-2973 and have your questions for Dr. Nicolas. You won't believe it. Some questions are already there waiting for you. And I'll ask a few of these questions, but I'm not done yet with how you got this number. I'm still thinking, first, it didn't take you too long to prepare. It was in 2018, you were angry, you were incensed, you were challenged by, comments that were not, friendly towards us Nigerians and Nigeria as a country. And that saw you run for an election. And off the top of my head, I'm asking, are we likely to see, a bigger, progress now that you've taken time to plan since the last election till date?
Oh yeah, definitely. The trend is more. I mean, everything is 100 times more, resources wise, and the people. I mean, everything is going to be way, way more. I want you to understand this, and I've said this, and I want everybody to take note of this. When you're going to know change is coming to Nigeria is when the electoral process, whoever becomes elected, is not going to be the normal way. Just the same way I came to it, people were not expecting it. If anybody get elected the normal way, you join these bigger parties, they go through all this rigorous process. At the end of the day, they ring the election and you emerge, these normal guys. That change is not going to happen. But when it becomes a shock to Nigerians, it becomes a shock to even you, the person that is elected, that's when you be expecting change in the administration. So whatever happened in 2019, Nigerians will be expecting, even me, I don't know how it's going to turn out 2023. Let me be very open to you. But I know something is going to happen that will begin the change that we have been seeking for. Like I said, there were a lot of work that we did. Like currently, people think because I'm in New York, I'm not, we're not campaigning. Yesterday, I was on the phone with somebody in very, important person in Lagos. He was challenged. He was sending messages. He wasn't convinced. I spent 45 minutes on the phone speaking to him, talking to him, explaining what we want to do. He was asking me questions. He was back and forth, pulling everything out. At the end of the day, he was so convinced. As of this morning, He's on my WhatsApp pages, sending people in, campaigning. He's doing a lot. That's what we'll be doing. Remember, I'm a pastor. Teaching is what I do for a living. Evangelizing, like we say in the Christian community, is the same thing we have put. I reach one person who has 1,000 followers, and they help us spread the word. There are many comedians now who are on our boat already. They're doing underground work for us. So whatever we did, we've learned a lot, and we'll continue from there. And let me make it very clear. We are not going to stop until it happens. We are not going to stop until it happens.
So I think that's quite soothing and great to note. But, you know, some of the questions that people are asking is, what are the real problems, identified problems that you think Nigeria is going through at the moment?
Okay, a very good question. If you will give me time to really elaborate on this. Like, you know, the primary responsibility of any government, not just Nigeria, as a nation, your primary responsibility is the protection of your citizens and their properties. That's your number one. It's not number two, it's not number three. Every government is responsible. Your primary aim is to make sure the life and property of your citizens are protected. And currently, that is our number one challenge. I am big on security. I own security companies here, even in Nigeria. When it comes to security, that's my strength. And that's the number one thing I want to tackle. If we can solve the security problem in Nigeria, you'll be amazed how things will be falling in place. Let me just throw this in. Any nation that is not safe can never experience economic growth. Let's start thinking about the nations where you hear calamity. The economy has crumbled. Is it Pakistan? Is it Iran? Is it Afghanistan? Is it some of the African countries where you see they are not safe? They don't have good economy. Look at South Africa. When last did you hear robbery on the street, insurgency, banditry, and all of those things? Look at a little country like Lesotho. When last did you hear all of those things? These countries, because they're experiencing security, the economy is booming. If we don't fix the security problem in Nigeria, let $1 trillion be pumped into Nigeria, you will not see it in the economy. So security is the first thing we are going to fix. And how do we fix it? It's a lot. Let me just throw this in very quickly. Our police officers are way below funded. We need to increase the funding of our police officer. Every police officer needs to be issued in Nigeria. We need to increase the number of police officers we have in Nigeria. We need to increase their standard of living. We need to make life better for our police officers. The other day I was watching a video. You will not believe that this happens all the time in America. A police officer, a police dog died in the line of duty. The honor a dog received, you want to be a dog, a police dog. When I saw the honor, the governor was present, the mayor was present, police officer. When I saw the convoy used to go and bury a dog just because it's a police dog. You wonder what happened to Nigeria. The police officer died in the line of duty. The next month, even the family are kicked out of the barrack. The family don't receive no compensation. And you want them to go and put their life on the line. We need to increase their standard of living. And now, when we are finished doing that, we will hold them accountable. Until we fix those who are going to be enforcing the law, you can never cure security in Nigeria. When we have given them sophisticated weapons, we buy more vehicles for them, fix the police barracks, make life comfortable for them. Now we are going to demand that they don't collect bribe. We are going to demand that they stay put and do the job we employ them to do. By the time we begin to put the check and balance in the police force, you see people will no longer be carrying guns all over the place because they know the police are going to be on them. They are going to be doing their job. If we don't fix the security issues in Nigeria, every other thing we're talking about, we're not going to see change in them.
Well, it was Roy Okidevia, Ambassador Roy Okidevia, who is also a security consultant. It was he who first got in touch with us here on Classic FM. The moment he saw that poster, he said, wait a minute, this man is big on security in New York and in other places. Ask him questions around security. So we're still on security. I'm not done yet with that.
Okay.
Would you be canvassing for a state police in Nigeria should you be elected president?
Actually, I was big on state police because that's what happened in a place like America where I live and few other countries I've traveled to. However, I have a little mindset change just because of what happened recently. I placed a billboard. I don't want to mention the name of the state. I placed a billboard in a state, and the governor's office asked that the billboard be removed because I'm not a member of PDP. I've sent the governor a message to clarify that. He hasn't responded. And I said to myself, wait a minute. If we give absolute powers to some of these governors, many of them are going to abuse it, and the aim we're trying to achieve, we will never get it. So in as much as we're going to give state policing to states, give them power, the federal government is still going to be able to hold some right to it, whereby by the time any government wants to usurp his or authority, the federal government can step in and be able to take power back and bring stability to that state. Because every state is still under or inside the country, Nigeria. No state is a nation. So in as much as I'm advocating for state policing, but there are going to be some restriction whereby the federal government can come in. If a state governor wants to use, because I'm in charge of police, oppress everybody, they will be able to. So it's not going to be absolute like I was planning we are going to do.
Looking at your resume and your age, one wonders why you didn't choose to start from your home state, because we've seen some young people looking at the start of this republic, 1999. Almost everyone who came on the scene were pretty young.
Exactly.
The Lucky Benedio,
Yes.
Bola Tinubu then was, was also young.
Yes.
James Ibori was almost among the youngest then. And we've seen, this gradual, progression to the extent that after a while, we stopped seeing the young. Today, the youngest is Yahya Bello of Kogi State. So a lot of people would have loved to see Dr. Nicolas Felix as governor of a state, and perhaps some of the key concerns you raised about state policing, change it to the extent that you can put your state on the world map and say, wait a minute, state A, where Governor Felix is quite different from the entire 35 states in Nigeria.
There's a parable in Nigeria. If a fish wants to go rotty, it does not start from the tail, it starts from the head. If you want to preserve it, it starts from the head. So at the end of the day, you wonder, when it's raining, our ladies, our women, our wives, our husbands, mothers, they use the umbrella to cover their head. And some of them, they may be putting on Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and expensive shoe. You don't see them take the umbrella and cover their shoe. They cover their head. Why? The head is very key. It's important. When I started, like I said, it was hunger that brought me into the race. I said to myself, if I become a governor or a senator, what change can I make? I'm very comfortable in America. I don't have to come to Nigeria. I don't have to be in Nigeria. I can live here for the rest of my life. I don't even step my foot into Nigeria, and I won't miss anything. But what is bringing me to the race, to the country, is to cause a change. So that was why you asked the first question. Why did you not, are you running under your party? I left my party because after the election, they were pushing me to go and meet APC and negotiate for stuff. I said, that's not why I came to Nigeria. I'm not hungry here. I'm not rich, but I'm not hungry. I didn't come to Nigeria to come and lobby for little offices to make me the vice side. I don't have time for those stuff. I came for a change. And if I don't have the platform to cause the change, I better come back and just stay put here. So the reason we went there, because if the head is right, every state governor we're going to put them in check. Every senator, every House of Rep member, every local government chairman, every councillor, we're going to put them in check. You can't be the governor of a state and do, we will not be able to achieve what we want to. Hence, we want to start from the top. And who said we are not qualified? How old was Obama when he was handling a $12 trillion economy? So this day, the age is no longer a factor. We are more ready and able to do the job.
So this question before we move on, it says that you were able to get the third place because of, the mistake a lot of people made, thinking that PCP was PDP And now that you chuckled, I'm sure you must have heard that argument that people thought CP was PDP, and pretty much later, before the election, your party then changed their logo to something else that now looked very much like that of the PDP and the APC. So you were able to get in between some voters who were almost going to cast their ballot for the APC and those who were going to cast their ballot for the PDP. So it wasn't as if you did a fine job, but the uneducated voters gave you that lead.
I've heard that so much time. People have asked that question. People have attacked me with it, and I didn't pay deaf mind to it when I heard it. When I was hearing it, I said, okay, let's do the math. First of all, the party was new, and you cannot just change party logo from INEC just like that. INEC go through a lot of process. I brought out the two logos and they compared it. People were recreating the logo. That's not the logo that was on the ballot. So let's make that clear. Number two, when this question was coming up, the attack, I said, okay, let me really find out if that's what happened. There were other candidates in our party who were still on the same ballot. They didn't get the same vote. So the question is, if this was a mistake, how come the mistake only affected me positively?
Okay.
Are you still there?
Yes, I am.
If this was a mistake, how come the mistake only affected us positively? Other candidates that also were on the same ballot. Remember, it wasn't just the presidential election that day. The ballot was given to you. You have some senatorial. You have a lot of other candidates that were on the ballot. If it was a mistake, I'm sure our candidate in another state should have gotten the same vote, maybe third or even fourth place. The other candidates should have gotten at least a little bit of the mistakes you affect them. Some of them got nothing. I had one who got less than 100. So why did this mistake not happen to every candidate that was on our party? So that's the question.
I was also going to ask you, how did you manage, with your party agents? Because in Nigerian politics, you have to have very deep pockets to have agents that will not compromise the election, against you.
Now, I should be the last person saying this, but I want to operate on a playing field. Clamoring on the third position, the vote that I got, even without campaign, I think is even too small. You're talking about Muhammadu Buhari got over close to 15 million votes here, and Atiku got, is it 11 or 12 million?
11 million plus.
Okay, we're talking about 20-something million votes, and 100,000. I was shocked when I saw Fela's result. I was shocked when I saw Mogalu. I was shocked when I saw Showere's vote. I said to myself, are you kidding me? Even without campaigning, just a billboard in a state, I should get 100 votes. Just by people I know I meet every day, I should be able to canvass some people and get a couple of votes. So if I got 10 million votes, now somebody will be talking. It's just 100,000. It's not even 1% of the votes. So it's not even big enough to say, oh, you got those kind of votes because I spent money. We put billboard all over the place. We were on national TV like I'm talking. I'm sure most of your viewers are already falling in love with me. I'm sure they're going to vote for me, even without seeing me. So, and the youth, people were already clamoring for a youth. So to think we would have gone to the poll and have 0 vote, I don't understand how that would have worked, because it doesn't matter how people hate you. There are people who are going to follow you. Let me tell you the shock that I got from that election. The shock was, I was amazed that people voted for Muhammadu Buhari. The shock is not that I got 110,000 votes. That vote is even shocking to me. It's too small. As a matter of fact, 3 days before the election, I endorsed Atiku. So I said to myself, we would have gotten more than 110,000 votes if I had not endorsed Atiku. So let people not clamor that you came third, it's a lot of votes. I am shocked that with the hardship in the country, with people dying in Benue, people dying in the north, hunger everywhere, that somebody still went to the vote and voted for this same man. That was my shock.
Nicolas Felix, I was coming there. I was going to ask why you endorsed the PDP candidate just 72 hours to the election.
it's a whole lot. I don't know if you have the time to go to.
I have the time. If we need to have a part two, trust me, I'll give you time another day. Because leading up to this election, we must have this conversation. Nigerians must be enlightened. Nigerians must take questions, listen to you. You talk to them, you engage them, and it's a good thing that we have the technology to have that kind of conversation, even if you're not here in Nigeria physically. So, by all means, Nigerians would like to know why you actually gave that support to Atiku Abubakar. Young Nigerians, people were pained. I still recall a lot of people saying, wait a minute, what's happening here? Was he planted by the PDP or Atiku? I don't know if some people accused you of that.
Yeah. I got the backlash. But when we started, like I said, I didn't come to Nigeria for any negotiation or to be paid. I didn't do any of that. I will not do that. I will not leave my comfort zone to come to Nigeria for that. When it was getting close to the election, I had a problem with my party. And that's why I'm not with them. They wanted me to come and join the Atiku's coalition. I refused. And when I refused, my party chairman and his team wanted to remove me as their candidate. They actually went to INEC, made all the attempt to remove me as a candidate just because I refused to join the coalition. And behind my back, the next thing I heard, they went to join the coalition. And that is why all our campaigns, my party chairman were not involved because they said, I must join the coalition. I told them vehemently, I did not come to Nigeria to run for office to go and join the coalition. Now, when it was getting close to the election, and I sat down with my team, I said, let's wait a minute. The party is not on our side. We don't even have agents to go all over the place to do what we want to do. For our effort not to be wasted, why don't we see this man himself instead of joining the coalition? Why don't we go and sit with Atiku and let's ask him some questions? Let's probe him. Let's see if he deserves our vote. They were also calling me to come and endorse Buhari. We went for several meetings in Transcorp. A lot of convincing was going on. I said, I will never endorse that man, and I did not go. 3 days to, I sat with Atiku in his house for close to an hour. We talked. We reasoned. I discovered that he is a better evil. Let me use that term. He's at least a little bit better. Because by then it was already clear that we don't have the structure. We don't have even the supervisors at the polling unit to run this. For our vote not to be wasted, at least to stop the bleeding Nigeria was currently facing, I said, okay, let me endorse this Atiku. And let me make it clear, contrary to what people think, Atiku never gave me a dime. I never collected money up to this day. If they are listening, they can verify that. Atiku did not give me money. I did not endorse him because he gave me a dime. 1 naira did not come from Atiku to me. So it wasn't anything about being paid or being planted by the PDP. That's not what happened. I was lured into it because my party.
For now, quickly now, I think that point made. For now, going into this election, have you been able to, for some of the key things you identified, talking about structures, have you been able to build these structures that will see you victorious in the coming election?
We are doing that in every state. We are laying the foundation. Our reserve now is which party to pitch our tent. So that's been the consultation. It's been a lot of meetings, talking to people, sampling their opinions. So I'll be in Nigeria in the next few weeks, and the consultation will continue. At the end of the day, we'll be able to make a decision and know where to pitch our tent.
Because I'm not just saying this because you're here. I'm saying it so that at least by now you should understand. I'm in a good position to let you in on the comments and the feelings of a lot of people, especially those who follow this show. Majority of persons would want to see a younger Nigeria. And it's good a thing that you have also identified some of the challenges of 2019. And Nigerians will be so pained to know that these structures have not been put in place leading up to that election. In other words, people listening to you now, you can win people just by talking to them. But it will be worse when they get into that election and they realize that there is no structure where they can hinge their support on. So tell us more. Your campaign base and do you have a party that you're running on in this coming election?
We have not identified a party. And let me also make this clear so that we'll be able to differentiate both. You know, a campaign organization is different from the party. And there is no campaign presidential candidate now or in the past who single-handedly have a structure to be able to win a presidential election. So, and that's why most of them, you know, everybody, Nigeria don't even have independent candidate for now. So we are going to be able to join a party and run under the platform and the structure of that party. An individual cannot run. We have supervisors in all the states. I mean, we have coordinators. Every single state from Kano to Maiduguri to Kaduna, Abuja, to the South, Ibadan, name it, Lagos, we have coordinators in all the states. We have pages where we talk every day, meetings are being held here and there. But for a presidential election, that's not enough. And that's why you need the strength, the platform of a political party. So we are going to be, we are still consulting, we are still figuring out which party. As you know, majority of the smaller parties were deregistered by INEC. I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
Yes.
So that's already causing an imbalance in the atmosphere already. So we are still consulting. And at the end of the day, Nigerians should be rest assured the decisions we make we're going to stand by it, and it will be a great benefit to us.
And this one here from Malachi in Ota, Ogun State, listening. He says, well, greetings to you, Felix Nicolas. And he says, you have lofty dreams, and he commends them. But he's wondering if does he know that Nigeria, okay, but has Nicholas thought about the fact that Nigeria has no foundation and the fact that it is a looting gang up? He went on to say these foundational issues must be trashed out before Nigeria can exist. That's one from Malachi, and another one here says, wait, you mean you don't have a political party yet by now when election is just few days time? You're obviously not ready. So perhaps maybe you should answer this before we take more. He's not happy that you don't have a political party for them to start, looking up to following at the moment.
Politics, like they say, is a game. It's how you play it. Nigerians are used to playing it like what they have been saying. If we follow that trend, we're not going to beat these guys. You must understand that. It's a game, and we have to be smart in playing our game. We are building our structure. Joining a political party is not an issue. Like I said, some of the younger parties, which a lot of the younger candidates join, they have all been deregistered by INEC, and they have been fighting. January they were in court, and the court upheld the decision to deregister them. So we are going to join a party. It's a game. We are playing it, and like I said, at the end of the day, whatever decision we make, you be rest assured is for our benefit. Now, when you talk about foundation,
yes,
understand one question I ask myself. I've traveled around. I've been around to some, almost every major country, London, Germany, all of these places I've been to. And when I look at the system in this nation, I ask myself, is Nigeria caused by God, or the problem we are facing is caused by men? At the end of the day, you can't say God has caused us. We are blessed with natural resources. Name it, we have them in Nigeria. So the God has not caused us. But the problem we are facing, they have all been caused by men. And if a man caused it, it will take a man to reverse it. So the foundation is faulty. It takes a man to come and rectify the foundation. And that's where we have come out to run for office.
And from Isaac is in the world. Can Felix Nicholas give his social media handle? He's won me already. So
thank you. I told you.
You
I'm
did.
Gonna win your followers.
You did. This is from Isaac. He said, well, he's won me already. So he wants your social media handle. And before that, another one here says, hold on. This is, he's saying,
normally I will not go through my phone while I'm on air, but if you don't mind,
no, go ahead. And this one here says, if we like, we should vote the best. If we like, we should vote the best candidate. If the fraudulent constitution we are practicing is not amended, we are going nowhere. This is from Lekon. Lekon is saying that we need to look at the constitution we need to amend it. Otherwise, it looks like we're not serious. And one last one here before I let you comment, says the decadence in the police system is systemic. I'm sure he's reacting to your plans for the Nigeria police. And he goes on to say the senior officers are the highest in the corruption ladder. I have a personal experience. How is your guest intending to address that? That is from Kasim. Kasim, I thought he spoke a whole lot about that, but again, he can just in one line or two.
That boils down to why I didn't run for a governor or for the office of a governor or a senator, because if the head is not corrupt, you can checkmate others who are under you. I can't be president and the IG will be doing otherwise. You know, it's not going to work. And I can't be president and those in my administration will be doing otherwise when it comes to corruption. It's going to be a warning before we even start. And Nigerians will see the consequences. People will be remanded, people will be arrested, even in the administration. When a minister who you appoint is arrested and put in prison, everybody is going to sit up tight. So that's what we're talking about. If the head is not corrupt, there's no way those at the bottom we go and be collecting bribes. So that's why we must start from the head. Running as a governor, as a senator, they're wonderful, they have all their stake, but my drive is to cause a change. I want to leave a mark in Nigeria that becomes a reference point, that everybody will want to at least meet the standard. And it's doable, it's possible. That's why everybody must support. Don't look at the mountain. When you consider the mountain too much, you will not fight. And that's what our fathers have been doing. They have all been pushing back. They look at these men like mighty men. You can't surmount them. You can't overtake them. Power belongs to the people. If we don't vote for them, they cannot go and sit there as president. We are the one who give them power. So that's why every Nigerian, don't just talk on social media. At the end of the day, you go and collect 500 and vote for them. Don't just go there and sell your vote in the name of party. We must do the right thing. If you don't do the right thing, they will enslave your children. Are you aware in 1983, I was 2 years old when Muhammadu Buhari was head of state. I'm at 38, I'm 40 years old now, he's still president. Abba, is he the only one there? What does he have to offer? Are there no young people who can do the same? Look at this other nation. How old was Obama when he became president? The president of France, how old is he? Why is Africa just electing old people? Where are they leading us to? At 65, you're supposed to retire. Go and rest. Let us take over. They have been telling us, youth are the leaders of tomorrow. I've been asking myself, I started hearing it when I was 10 years old. I'm 40, I'm going to be 50. They are still telling me youth are the leaders of tomorrow. For me, my tomorrow is now. It's 2023. We're not waiting until we are 70 years old.
Well, do you intend to follow the Western template, which is proving to be fallen apart, or combined with our original African system of governance? Can that ever happen? This person has not put a name. Please, once you send us a message, try and put a name. Otherwise, I think this will be the last I'll take without a name. Of course,
we have to follow the template. If it works in other nations, we are on planet Earth. We are not in another planet. If it's working in America, it's working in South Africa, why can't we apply the same? You talk about our police officers being trained. I mean, you need to see the training they go through here. When you compare them, you wonder, you are training people to go and deal with every kind of human being on earth. You deal with the good, the bad, the ugly. These people must be trained psychologically. They must be trained. You must equip them. You call the police station for an emergency. They'll tell you to come and pick them. If I can come to you, I mean, there's a gun on somebody's head. There are armed robbers on the door, armed robbers on the road. You call the police. They say, come and pick us. Have you ever heard that before? What kind of insane thing is that? They are not equipped. Do you blame them? Corruption has set in. The people who are supposed to checkmate, people who are supposed to provide the resources, whatever is allocated to the police, I'm not even sure 50% gets there. You give them a billion naira for the year, I'm not even sure it gets there. Those at the top takes it before it finds its way to the local precinct, to the local station, is nothing to work with. So that's why we must start from the top so we can be able to checkmate it. I'm telling you, people will go to jail when they mess with us, when we become president. It's not going to be the country as usual. The nation will know that there is a new sheriff in town.
Well, for Yinka is saying, please, sir, how do I join your WhatsApp group? Perhaps I think if we restrict it to your social handle from there, people can get to know how they can. Let me let you do that, and then we'll. Okay, Remy said, okay, sorry. Remy said that the question without a name, that the name is Remy. And thank you very much, Remy, for obliging us a name. And this other one here says, does he have the kind of money to run for presidential election in Nigeria? I hear it's about $300 million. That's another question there for you.
I try not to think about that. If you think about that, you're going to pull out of the race. That's the truth of the matter. If you think about the amount you need, you're either going to pull out of the race or you get discouraged. I try to take it one at a time. The money is not going to be what is going to win us there. If it's going to be the money, we will never get there. That's just the truth. If it's going to be the money, like I said, I'm just trying to be open and plain to you. If it's going to be the 300 million that is going to require us to get to that place, we will not get there. It has to be unconventional way of getting there. And Nigerians, watch out. It's going to be a shock. Just the way 2019 was a shock. This is going to be the biggest shocker. And that's when we'll know change has come to Nigeria.
Well, Karolansky is listening from Delta State, and he says, why do we only hear some names when elections are approaching? If your guest, who is not so popular because he's not a regular politician, could come third, one would think that that would motivate him to remain consistent and build on his last resort. But he's just coming out again, just a few months to election. Just imagine if he had remained on the scene, critiquing the government policies and telling Nigerians what he stands for and by, he would have been a force to reckon with, and he can merge with other strong contenders for a formidable force. But frankly, I don't know if it is not too late.
Yeah, we had that plan. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to be in Dubai 2019, November. We actually waited for election year to be over. We were supposed to be there for fundraising. So we already had all the plan put together. I came to Nigeria March 2020 for just this, starting the work. That was when COVID hit. I think it's very unwise in the midst of people are dying, especially we here where we are. Nigeria, God has been good to us over there. People dying every day in the midst of heavy COVID to be talking about election. People just needed to survive. So as we all know, we couldn't travel. Nobody could move an inch. I lost my mom. I couldn't even travel to Nigeria early. Thank God the borders were open 2 days before the funeral. Otherwise, I couldn't have even come.
Sorry for all that.
Thank you. So at the end of the day, we had this in mind to continue, but COVID really put an end, which treated us a lot. Hence, you see us starting late. Even here, the town hall meetings we are holding, we can't really hold as much as we want to because of all the restriction and all of that. So that's the reason. So it's not like we are just starting again from day one. As a matter of fact, the very day President Muhammadu Buhari was inaugurated, our website went up and we started countdown to when he's leaving office. That's to tell you that we've been ready. But COVID-19 has kind of put a hindrance to us stepping out on time.
Ade Boyega Adedeji here says, I don't like to hear words like I'm still consulting, I'm still waiting, God hasn't spoken to me, etc. It shows the person isn't serious. It's either the person is looking for money from the major giant candidates or these two parties, or he's trading for a ministerial position. What does Nicolas Felix think is the reason why insecurity is thriving in Nigeria, and how will he handle it?
If you speak to my aides, my drivers, my team that work very closely with me, if I mean, they will be sincere. They will tell you this is one thing I've always said I will not do. As a matter of fact, some of them have been pushing, Your Excellency, we're working. You mean if they give you minister, you will not come? I'm telling you, there are things that will not leave my comfort zone here to come and sit in Nigeria. If I cannot make a change, I won't do it. So they must understand that. That's not why I came. If I wanted that, the opportunity was afforded to me. My party wanted that, but I refused to because I'm not going to soil my hand. That's not why I came. Now, in terms of consulting, like I said, this is politics. It is a game. The game changes. My party I was under, apart from the fact that we had issues I left, The party has been deregistered. So if you were with a party and the party has been deregistered, you were hoping January some of them will be brought back up, and they were not. What do you do now? I mean, the games are changing. A lot of the parties were deregistered. So we have to pitch our tent somewhere. And it's not a decision you just make overnight. Okay, I'm jumping here. You have to ask questions. You have to do it right this time. We're not coming out to try. We're not. I won't spend my money doing this just for a try. So people must understand that. I have a lot going on here with me. I'm not going to come to Nigeria just to play. It's serious, and we mean business. People have died enough. We must cause a change in Nigeria.
And Said Barwa says, hello, Nicolas Felix. You're speaking well, and you're saying what Nigerians love to hear during electioneering periods like this. But the question is, do you have the courage to make a change? Are you really ready and committed to take Nigeria to the promised land?
The courage will be there. The political will be there, is there, and will be there if Nigerians vote me in. If the cabals put you, you are going to succumb to them. That's just the simple truth. If this cabal puts you in office, you will listen to them when you get there. But if the people put you in office, you will listen to the people. So the problem that has been in Nigeria is not, sometimes people ask me deep question, economic question. I say, listen, I don't have to be an economist to fix the nation. What you need as the president is the political will. I want this done, and that's what it is. There's no debate. So it's not knowing the whole detail, knowing what economics is, all of this. That's not what we need to solve the problem. There is no single individual who will tell me, I'm an economist, I'm good in this, I'm good in that. No, you need advisors around you, people that are smart. You bring Nigerians from all over the world, you come with their brains. What you need as the president is the political will. I'll tell our military heads, our generals, that in the next 100 days, I want the bandits gone. I want them eliminated. You empower them. You put them on check. You don't sleep on.
Sorry to cut you there. Sorry to cut you there. That brings us to Adegoya's question. You know, you yet to give an answer to that. He was asking why is insecurity thriving in Nigeria?
Because our politicians allow it. It's obvious. Look at how do somebody come out and say, I'm a terrorist, I'm joining killing people, and you give them a title, repentant Boko Haram. Where in the world have you heard that? You are going to jail. Not only do they give them, you see them give them nice drink, they beautify them, they add them to our military. What an insult. There are people who are profiting from this. List names have been coming out. I don't
think, quick one here. I don't think any repentant Boko Haram has been, integrated into our military or police.
We see them all the time. We see
I think it's not verified because it's something. Okay. I have conversation with the military at least people.
Okay, let me ask you
the police, and I know that the spokespersons of these bodies, I've had that conversation with them, and in all honesty, there's not a case of anyone who had repented as a Boko Haram member that has been conscripted into the Nigerian army.
Let's leave that part if it's not verified. Let's just forget about being in the military.
Yes, it's quite instructive that we make that clear so that people don't run away with that.
Where have you heard? Oh, I have just 5 minutes to be on my way to church. Where have you heard that a repentant armed robber, a repentant kidnapper, when an armed robber is caught, they don't ask how many people you have killed to say, "Oh, I've repented." But
your pastor, if I say I have repented, I think the only thing here could be that because we haven't seen genuine repentance. Maybe that's where your argument.
You can repent while you are sitting in your jail cell. You can repent while you are in prison. Every crime, there is the law. I'm a pastor. I'm not running as the pastor of Nigeria. I'm running as the president of Nigeria. If you need grace message, come to my church. I'll preach grace to you. But as president, there's nothing like repentant Boko Haram. What are you talking about, repentant Boko Haram? Do you know how many families, how many people have become orphans? Do you know how many people have died? And you come out, you're calling you repentant Boko Haram? What in the world is that? It tells you these people are pampering them. Don't tell me they cannot end insurgency. Abacha said, if insurgency lasts for 24 hours, the government hand is in it. If Abacha said it, I believe it. These people are profiting.
And
Governors have come out.
And that's another statement. I doubt if the general
they are giving
ever
us
said.
If Abacha said it, I believe him.
I love that you said if, because you're almost like every other Nigerian who does not even think that he actually said that. So if, I love that conditionality clause. If he said it, I believe it. If he said it, they will believe it. Anyway, I wouldn't let you go without letting us in on your church. You know, for some Christians and not Christians.
You asked me of my handles. I brought my phone out. Let me throw that.
No, you bring the handle. I'm saving all that for last. Don't take your phone away. We will need that handle. But again, tell us about your church.
Oh, I'm the General Overseer of Miracle Center International, founded 2014, March 2nd, 2014. So we have a branch here in New York. We have in New Jersey. We just opened a branch now in Abuja. As a matter of fact, I'll be coming for the inauguration from the 6th of March to the 10th of March to the 13th. For 4 days, I'll be in Abuja inaugurating the church. So the church is doing well. And Pastor E. Adeboye, the General Overseer of Redeemed Christian Church of God, is my spiritual covering, is my spiritual father. So the church is doing well. And I try not to put, Nigeria is a very diverse nation. I try not to be religious when I'm in upfront.
And it will amaze you. Yes, I think.
Yes. So that's why you don't see me put it up front.
No, it's good, but it's good. But again, people need to know where you're coming from and where you're headed.
Oh yes.
No, it counts.
I appreciate it.
It counts. It counts. Yes. So now let's get the handles and see how many of those people that will be on track with you on this journey.
I was never the type who is big on social media. I'm telling you the truth. My Instagram account, something in a whole year, I don't even tweet. So people have been having issues.
Nigerians will bring you out. You can't be running. And since Nigerians, you've won about 5, from the messages here. So
I'm learning it. That's why people thought because I was not on social media, I wasn't doing the job, because I've never been too big. I have so much. We have different companies, a lot of things that we are managing. Sometimes sitting on social media is really not profitable, but now things are going well. Dr. Nicolas Felix is my Facebook page, Dr. Nicolas Felix. You can send me an inbox. Somebody was asking, how do you join our WhatsApp page? Trust me, I've been having time to respond to people. You can inbox me on Facebook. We'll respond. You get us your number. We'll add it to the page. My Instagram account is Nicolas Felix 2023. Nicolas Felix 2023. You can go on YouTube. Nicolas Felix 2023 also. Dr. Nicolas Felix at Dr. Nicolas Felix is my Twitter account. You can follow me on Twitter. We're trying to build up the Twitter page. Let's get to 1 million in 1 week because we came to 97.3 FM.
I'm happy you were able to make it, even though we had a little glitch starting the show. But let's keep this conversation. We do hope that once you're in Nigeria and you are in Lagos, we should have a live studio conversation here so that Nigerians will, bring in more questions, get to know this young Nigerian who's so concerned about what the country is going through, especially in the eye of the international community. This is wishing you the very best, Dr. Nicolas Felix. Thank you for your time, and we wish you the very best. And we do hope that this conversation will continue in the nearest future.
Thank you so much. I've been on several interviews. I enjoyed myself so much. And I'm going to speak to my aide. I'm going to be in Lagos the first week of March. No matter how tight my schedule is, I must make sure I come see you in person. We'll have this wonderful time. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Many thanks. And for our listeners across the world, you can catch up pretty much later on our YouTube channel to watch this program. I'm Sulaiman. Bye-bye.